everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So it's been like a hot minute since I've done some UV resin pendants for everyone. So I pulled these out. I just, glanced at them the other day and realized I haven't done these forever. So I have 4 different kinds. This one is a star with a little bit of shells, seashells, seahorse, some waves. So I'm gonna do this one patriotic because of the star and the little sunburst remind me of like fireworks. And the rest I'm gonna do like beach themes. So I'm gonna try to do 4 for you today. And these are pretty thin, but they have a flat backing so we can put them on the tape and hopefully, I've done them before. They do take a couple layers actually, which I was surprised. So I got my little jewelry tape out here. If you buy these kinds of bezels, they usually come with some jewelry tape. Otherwise, you can use what you have, or let me find a knife. You can buy this separately, I think. I have a whole bunch of rolls, so they must have come with a bunch of different bezels. So I'm just gonna peel off. I'll do one at a time. And we're gonna get it adhered to the back of the pendant. And you want it to be like super duper stuck because you don't want any leaks. So I'm gonna start with the patriotic one, being that it's almost, well, it's past Memorial Day when you're watching this, but next is the 4th of July. So I'm just gonna take any tool that you have and I'm gonna press it down really hard across this whole thing so we don't have any leaks. And I think I'm going to do this one in red, white, and blue. So just make sure, go over it really, really, really hard so you don't have any problems. I have my dual light out, so since the tape is pretty translucent, I'm going to take full advantage of the dual light here so it cures from the top and the bottom. I'm going to get some resin out here. I need to get a little bitty cup. And I'm just going to start with this little star. And the star I wanted red, and I don't have any red, true red UV resin. So I'm just going to take my red wine glitter and I'm going to mix my own UV resin as soon as I find a stir stick. So we don't need a lot. You could just mix whatever. You can mix your own colors with alcohol ink or mica powder. Just be careful because you don't want to add too much mica powder to UV resin. But the glitter I seem to have pretty good luck with. So I'm just going to put, not all of that, but some of that. I'm just going to fill it with resin, fill it with some glitter so we can get the true red effect that I'm going for on the little star. And I'm just going to start with that star and make sure it's not going to leak on me. If it does, we'll have to trim. But I'm going to definitely try my hardest not to have to trim anything. So yeah, you're working in small quarters here when you're doing little jewelry. I think I'm going to go get my scribe instead of this because this is a little thick for me. So I could drip it like 1 drip at a time. And you might want to do layers because I don't know, how well it's going to cure through there. So I'm just going to go through this star real quick. And I need to mix up a little more. It actually holds a lot more than I expected it to. I'm using Let's Resin High Viscosity to make up my own because it's nice and thick. And I like to use thicker resin so nothing's running on me. So if you don't have the colors you want, you can make your own. You can even make your own little waves and things like that. There are several videos in my jewelry playlist. So if you are doing resin jewelry, go into that playlist instead of scrolling through the entire channel looking for them. And then they'll all be right there for you if you're interested in looking at other ones. Because I do some other techniques. So that's about half full. And actually, I'm going to fold this tape over so it's not constantly sticking to my gloves. I should have done that before I started, but I forgot because it's been so long since I've done jewelry. Okay, so now I can manipulate it without it. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that, and then I'm going to do a second layer of that one. Keep your mixed resin far away from the light or it will cure. So I'll be back as soon as it's done. All right, so this is cured nice and hard. I did not have any leaks, so I'm going to go ahead and go in and do another layer. And just do little layers until you're happy with how much you have in there. If you want to dome it, or it depends on what you're working on. I bought these a long time ago. I will try to find them and link them. As always, everything that I can find is linked in the description box. If I'm missing something, let me know. I will try to find it for you. Or I will let you know that I can't find it, but I think I got these on Amazon like a long time ago. And get something skinny so you can maneuver it into these little areas if you have little areas. All right, curing again. Get that out of the way. All right, let me see what it's looking like. So it is even with the top of that star. So I think I'm just gonna go in with one tiny more layer just to make it a nice little domed look to it. Not a lot, just a tiny little bit. It's so hard to work on little stuff, I know. And if you have to trim it from your stainless steel, it will come off. But of course, I'm going to try to get it off before. Make sure you have like a long neck lighter available when you're working with like transparent, so you could pop the bubbles. Although bubbles in Sea Life don't really bother me too much because there are bubbles in Sea Life. This one, since I'm doing red glitter, I'm going to do white and blue in the glitter as well. So I just pulled out all the resins that I have from Temu, Light Wish, and again I'll make my own if I need to. So take your time. There's no rush. If you don't have time to do a craft, I would suggest not starting. Otherwise, you're going to be rushed. That looks really good. Okay, I'm going to get that cured and find my white and blue that I want to use. And I think, well, I'm going to use, well, this is a Light Wish colored UV resin. And this one is, yep, it's glittery. So I'm going to use that for my white. And these ones that say colored UV resin have glitter in it. These ones that just say UV colorful resin are transparent. And this one is, it's probably not the true blue, but it's close. For Patriotic for the US anyway. I know not all of you are in the US, but since I am, I have to be patriotic. You all know my husband is extremely patriotic because most of his projects are like red, white, and blue. All right, as soon as this is cured, I will come back. Okay, that's good for now because I know it's going to go back in there several times. So, I mean, it feels fully cured, but the more it's in there, it's not going to hurt anything. So I think what I'm going to do is go in, I think I'm going to go in with the blue first. That way the darker colors are kind of next to each other. I'm just going to squeeze some on here and manipulate it around all these parts. And I'll probably do 2 layers, at least 2 layers. Get it all in here. Little bubble. And I can put the white in at the same time because it's not really spreading anywhere. So let's see how this looks. I don't really have a huge plan for today's projects. I'm just kind of winging it as I go. Although I don't want these hard lines. So I think I'm going to just drag it through to kind of ombre them. You know what I mean? So it's like together, but you can't tell. And go around these little pieces parts. All right, I'll cure that layer and then we'll do another layer. That should be solid enough to do a second layer. And then when on my final layer, what I'll do is like 5 minutes, just so I know it's completely cured. Oh, this second layer is gonna deepen up the color, so that's really good. And fill in any, see I have a divot there, it kind of shrank back, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in as soon as I can.
Fill it in, fill it in.
Mr. Glitz is making an appearance. You wanna make one?
An appearance? I just did.
No! You never did this before.
Oh yeah, I've done that plenty. What is it?
Mm-hmm. All right, 5-minute cure. All right, so that was 5 minutes. It's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna peel off the back. And if you have to, you can dome the back, but I don't think I'm going to unless I absolutely need to, because I would like it flat. And that looks really good. It's nice and solid, as you can hear. So is that. So there is the first one. Not a whole lot to it, but you know, what are you gonna do with red, white, and blue? Okay, the second one I've already prepared on my little piece of tape, and I've got some resin in the cup. So because I want a beach for this one, I have a little bit of my local sand. I'm just gonna mix this into the resin. Just a little bit. You want it to be able to cure through, so don't go crazy in the sand. Now, normal resin typically discolors my local beach sand. My local sand is white. And a lot of times it turns a different color, but it looks like this UV is not turning it a color. Oops, I forgot to fold over my tape. Just gonna fold it over so I can move it around without it coming loose. Okay, I'm gonna put it up on the shelf. Now make sure your little eye hook, or whatever you call them, is at the top, because that's your top. I'm just gonna make a little beach here at the bottom. And then we're gonna put a couple little colors of water. And maybe on the top coat, I'll do some waves, we'll see. I could have probably put a little bit more sand in there, but that's okay. Maybe I'll do a second coat and put a little more sand in. Let me get this cured real quick, and while I mix up some more sand. All right, that is cured pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other layer. I'm going to use a green and a blue, transparent. If I could get the lid off. I'm just going to do a small layer of green where it meets the sand, and then a thin layer of blue. Kind of manipulate it around. I am going to kind of combine it. I'll get that cured and then we'll do a second layer. All right, here is it so far. So I'm just going to do a second layer of sand. I think I'm going to put them all in at the same time. I need to find something. Here we go. I'm going to put them all in at the same time so I could cure it all at the same time, and I'm going to put a wave on the top, I think. Now I did add more sand in this batch. I added 2 little spoonfuls instead of 1 because I'm afraid it's going to be super translucent. I expected it to change color in the resin and it didn't really. All right, so there's that. Then I'm going to add the green and the blue. And then I'll go in with a little bit of white. I don't want a lot of green because this isn't exactly the green I'm going for. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to get it to the edge. Combine it a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of white. Let's see, this one maybe? Can't see it. Yeah, I'm just going to take a little small bit of white. I'm not going to blow it out or anything because these are so small. I'm just going to use my scribe to make some waves. And that looks pretty good. Now make sure you get it into all the corners or you'll be touching it up after it comes out, because it does tend to pull back a little bit. Maybe a little more white because it's starting to blend. And this is all just personal preference, really, the whites and the blues and the greens, so pick whatever colors you want. All right, so I see it going over the edge because I'm putting too much in and it went underneath the tape. So let me pull this tape back. I need a pair of tweezers. So I do not want the tape getting adhered. Now I'm gonna have a problem. There we go. And I could trim that off if I need to after it's done. Grab my lighter because I see a couple of bubbles. Pop those. I see a little piece of dust in there. And I see a few more bubbles. All right, let's get this cured. I'm going to do a 5-minute cycle. So if you don't have a UV light with a top and bottom like this, then you will have to flip it over and cure the back side because you do need both sides cured. Just going to peel off the tape carefully because it's still warm. I didn't let it cool down. And here is the pendant. Let me see if there's any. Oh, look, there's nothing on that. I don't think there's, no, I don't see anything on there. So it dripping over didn't do anything. What do you think about that one? Really pretty, huh? All right, there's 2 down. We got 2 to go. So for the third one, this one has like little wave looking things on the side. I'm gonna take my little Temu blues. These have some glitter in it. And I think I'm just gonna, hopefully I have enough. I was gonna just mix them together, the 2 colors. And then on the top layer, I think I'll do some transparent and some white coming out of these crashing waves. Hopefully I can get enough out of these. I've used these ones a lot, so I don't know how much is left in here. Just gonna get a little bit of a mixture of colors. And then scoot it around. I think I want a little bit more of the lighter colored one. All right, let me get that cured and see what happens. All right, so that's cured. Thinking maybe, let me see what this color blue looks like. I don't think you're gonna see a whole lot through it, so I'm gonna add the clear to it because I want to be able to see the blue underneath it. So I'm just gonna make the second layer clear with the blue, get it all up in here, and then spread some white through. Let me see if I could get it. This one's tricky. Those waves are pretty intricate up there. That's good. And then I'm gonna grab my white here. Kind of do what I did on the other one. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens. I wanted it to come out of this area and kind of down. I'm not sure it's going to work out that way. I also don't want to cover up all the blue that I just did. That doesn't look too bad, actually. All right, I'm gonna get that one cured, actually. And we got one more to do. I'll do that one for 5 minutes. Now this one, I took these were two open little flower type things, so I took a rhinestone and I put in there just to give it a little jazz. And it's of course not dry yet, but let's get this off. So there's that one. That looks pretty cool. You can go over it again with a clear coat if you want to, just to get rid of that white look from the white UV resin. Maybe I will. I might do that. But for this one, I wanted to mix up some of my darker sand, which is right here. This is the sand from Virginia Beach, because I didn't like how light the other one came out. It was just a little bit too light. So I want to try this one with a little bit darker, just to give it a different kind of look for a beach, because this one has shells and starfish and seahorses. It's a definite beach theme. So I'm just going to put a little bit here at the bottom. Move it around a little bit. Oops, sorry guys, I didn't know you were out of focus here. So I'm just going to squish it down in there. Get it up there. Kind of bring it up the side a little bit. And I think I'm going to use the Temu ones again. The lighter one and the darker one. Get it down in the corner. And then use the darker one. Then when I do the top coat, maybe I'll do the two at the same time with the clear, just to cover the white UV resin that you could see kind of swirled around on the top of the other one. I'll do them both at the same time. So this one, I'm just going to kind of mix them together. I'm going to get that cured. Actually, maybe I'll just top coat it now while I have it out. I did take the plastic off, so it shouldn't go through anything. It just hoping I don't get it over the edge. Actually, I'm just going to hold it to do it. This will just give it a nice finish. You could do it on all of them if you wanted to. I'll have to take a look at the other ones and see if it actually needs it. That right there is a piece of the metal that I went over with resin, so it kind of looks wrong, but it's definitely the metal piece. I checked the back. I thought it was a bubble, but it's not. There we go. I don't see any bubbles. All right, let's get these both cured at the same time. So I put clear coat on all of them just to give it a nice finished look. So that one's good. I think I gotta touch this one up. It's got a little divot in there now, so I'll put another coat on that one. See that little divot right there? I put a clear coat over this one, so that one's good. So now on this one, I'm going to put clear and white. I'm only on my second coat for this one, and I'm going to put the white coming up from the beach this time and not coming down. So first I'm going to spread my clear all over the place. Get that everywhere. Grab my lighter. All right, now I'm just going to grab my white, do what I did before, just dip it in. This time I'm going to draw a line like I would if it was a beach scene on a coaster or a tray or whatever. And then I might need more, but I'm just going to pull it up into the ocean. I think I need more. Definitely want to see the white. I think that looks pretty good. Let me get some clear on this one here. Just wonder if I could get away with just that divot. No, I'm gonna have to do the whole thing. you could see that it's just that divot, so I must have not had enough on this whole thing. So this one's getting pretty thick. I hope I didn't ruin this one. So this one's gonna have like 4 coats of resin on there. So just double check everything before you cure it, otherwise you'll be in this boat. I know these look really thin, but they can hold several coats of resin. All right, that looks good. I don't think I missed anything this time. Just gonna get it all the way to the edge. Okay, I'm gonna cure these 2. So I just wanted to say I have these bezels that I have as well that I have not gotten to, so I'll do another video on them soon with these kind. These are open ones as well. These are not, these are for like the poured ones into the mold, but let's do some more of these open ones with some other ideas other than beach scenes. So come back in a couple days, I'll get one of those done. Also, I received happy mail from Barbara. Thank you so much, Barbara. I'm gonna give a little clip after this before the final pictures, and you can see everything that she sent to me. So it is so appreciated. I'm so excited to pour some of these molds, and you'll see everything else that she gave me in just a second. You can watch that while I finish curing these. What'd you think about all that, you guys? Wasn't that awesome? So all that eyeshadow, I think I might try it in resin. What do you think? If there's not a lot of oils in it, I think it might color resin. All right, so here is this one. I took it off the paper. Came out pretty cute. I put some jump rings on them so it can sit on a chain properly, because this one would not have done the trick. There it is. So there's 4. I'm gonna get you some pictures. Stick around for those. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Like I said, I'm gonna get some other ideas together for those other ones in the next day or 2, and we'll do another UV resin video. I know a lot of you do UV resin jewelry, so I'm gonna see what I can come up with, maybe give you some ideas. And please share yours on my Facebook group so I can see everything that you guys are doing, so you can inspire me back. All right, you guys all have a blessed day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.